Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're well, hope you're looking after yourself, and if you're back at work, I'm sorry to bring that one back up. But we're talking more so about something a little bit more interesting, which is Spurs and the January transfer window. And the more I thought about this window, before sort of actually going into what we're going to talk about, the more I thought about this window, the more I thought about how crucial this window is for just not only this season, but seasons going forward. I'll explain why in a second. But yeah, this video is around updates on obviously the Genoa centre-half Radu Dragusin, as well as some really interesting quotes around David Ornstein talking about Eric Dier, but also other reporters giving a little bit more to that situation. So plenty to talk about, plenty to get into. Just want to say, if you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And yeah, let's jump in and let's talk Radu Dragusin. And it came from Fabrizio Romano, said that Tottenham Genoa have a new round of talks already scheduled to advance on the Radu Dragusin deal. Initial verbal proposal from Spurs is around 23 million euros, while Genoa asking price is 30 million euros. Contacts will continue soon. Postecoglou still convinced he wants Dragusin, which that bit at the end's just nice. If Ange wants him, I want him. Look, I think we're talking about sort of about £5 million difference between the two, so it's not a lot. Do expect the deal to get done. I'm not sitting here and thinking, oh god, we better drop another list of other centre halves that we want. Get them in. I still think Dragusin is going to be the guy. Maybe he won't be there for the Burnley game, and I say maybe. I highly doubt that now. So we're looking at going into that Burnley game with Davies at centre half. I assume Davies and Emerson at centre half. Unless Ange, tests out a Phillips or tests out a Dorrington, I don't know. But, he does need to be in soon, though. The more we wait, and I'm going to mind my words here, the more we waste time, the worse the initiation into the group, the time to acclimatise to the league, the worse it's going to be, and the worse he'll perform at first. The earlier we get him in, the more ready he is to play against Man United in the middle of the month. That's where we should be looking at this transfer now. Can we get at least a couple in before Man United to have options? Because we're down 3 in terms of the players that have gone to international duty. We're down Romero as well, don't forget that. We're down Mickey van der Ven. Is he going to be back for the Man United game? We still don't know. He's close, but we still don't know. Is Maddison going to be back? We still don't know. So, and obviously, knock on wood, we don't have any more injuries or suspensions from the FA Cup. But if we do pick up maybe an injury or two, we're down those players as well. So we do need to be bringing in players quite soon. Be it the 3rd of January now, Dragusin does need to be in the next few days. He needs at least a week going into that Manchester United game. Because he probably is going to be starting. And I'm going to put it out on a limb here. I think Mickey van der Ven will be back to play in that as well. So at least we'll have centre-halves playing. That'll be nice. But when I was thinking about this window, and I briefly talked about the side video, how this window is so crucial, not only for this season and, what we want to achieve this season, but going forward, what we want to achieve. A lot of the big clubs seem to be sort of sniffing around the same sort of players. And it does feel like Spurs have kind of veered away a little bit slightly to, different targets. But I think with this window, when we sort of go back and look at the other January transfer windows, we look at the Kulusevski-Bentancur window. Look at how well they settled first and foremost, but look how well they continued to settle because they had 6 months leading into the summer, then had a summer window when they were here the whole time. I know Kulusevski's thing, he wasn't here for like a week or two, but he was going to be a Spurs player. Everyone knew it. Juventus and Spurs both knew it. It gave them so much more time to settle. So when they hit the season going forward, they were ready to go into it a bit more. Bentancur was magnificent. That Conte season that fell apart. Before Bentancur got injured, we were right in the mix of every competition because he was so crucial. Once he went down injured, that was it. The season just fell apart. But January is such a crucial time. You can do business. I think people tell you that you can't. You can. It's not easy. But when a transfer is ever that easy. So, yeah, Dragusin going forward, you get him sorted, you bring another centre-half in the summer, and before you know it, your centre-half room is pretty much thereabouts done now. You then can look at the rest of the team. I think the spine will be sorted through keeper, defenders, midfielders, and a striker, I think, in the summer. I think that spine will be sorted. then you start branching out and going, like, we need to get another left back. Look, we need to get a right back. Look, we probably could do another winger or two. You know, that kind of vibe. Let's talk Eric Dier. So first and foremost, David Ornstein, what he said on 5UK, he said that Spurs would very gladly allow Eric Dier to leave on a free transfer this month in order to get his salary off the books, given that he is out of contract next summer and is not part of their summer plans. Which, that's Spurs admitting defeat. Spurs in the summer were like, you're not going on loan. We want money for you. Ironically, that kind of backfires, and we probably would have been better off letting him go, bringing in someone else on the cheap, on the loan or whatever it might have been. That probably would have been better. But Ekram Knorr said that Roma and Milan plan to check the situation of Tottenham's 29-year-old English defender Eric Dier. Well, look, we know that Mourinho doesn't mind a bit of Eric Dier. So, and at Roma, they need a centre-back. I talked about it the other day. They need a centre-back, but they don't have the money to spend. So they need to bring someone in that's cheap. Eric Dier on a free transfer, or even, hell, a 6-month loan deal is cheap. When you look at what Nicolo Shearer said, not Shearer, he said, and this is translated, he said, Eric Dier is still an AS Roma target as new centre-back. If Tottenham sign Radu Dragusin, advanced talks, he could leave Spurs to rejoin his former coach Mourinho. So potentially, I would say that Roma seemed the most likely of all options. I know they were linked to Ben Godfrey. They were linked to a lot of very cheap defenders. Because like I said, they haven't got the money to spend. And if they can get someone who maybe they're just paying, a couple of million for over the next 6 months, that would be enough. Well, if you can take Eric Dier off our hands, I think we'd be pretty happy with Mourinho, even more so than we had previously. And it frees up a spot as well for someone else that we can bring in. And I think the idea is now we've had Phillips here for, a good few months from the summer. Mickey will be back. Radu Dragusin, I still expect to be a player here. Obviously, main man Romero. The idea, I would hope, is, when we are 3-0 up and we're sort of just cruising and you go, look, it's the 80th minute. Let's get Phillips on for 15 minutes. And just, it doesn't have to be starting games, but if you can get him one every few games, 15, 20 minutes, because you're cruising. And we have had games this season, by the way, that we have been cruising and we haven't used other players that we should have done. That is one thing I think we definitely need to be looking at. Because I don't think he will start in the FA Cup. Because we're not playing much in January, we will be probably going out there and putting out a consistent team and the best possible team. You might find a Mickey van der Ven on the bench, which I probably, if he's fit enough to be on the bench, I wouldn't hate. Because you don't need to throw him in at the deep end if he's not completely ready. But having him on the bench, emergency break glass sort of situation. But you do need to start looking at getting some of these younger guys a few more minutes when we are sort of cruising, Don't go, bring him on the 90th minute. We're 3-0, but bring him on the 90th minute. Give him 5 minutes where no one really cares. Bring him on in the 75th, 80th minute when they're 3-0 up. Okay, well, the game still has a little bit of juice in it, but not to the point where it's 2-1 or 3-2 and we're sort of grinding it out, So, anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. Hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below your thoughts and feelings about, obviously, what I talked about with Radu Dragusin and the situation that we're sort of a few million apart. But obviously, the Eric Dier interest and the Spurs allowing him to go on a free. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.